Welcome back to Every Fashion and Style. In today's DIY, we're going to learn how to install this beautiful outer zipper. For this zipper, you don't need a zipper allowance. I'm going to be teaching you how to sew this together to have something as neat as this. If this is something you like to learn, kindly stay tuned. Thank you. So to install this zipper, we're going to be working with this jean zipper. It's an outer zipper. Like you can see, there is no zipper allowance on the dress. So what you need first is to locate your center point. So you can just put it on fold and then you can iron it, or you just press it down so that you have a crease line there. I have already done mine and I can see my crease line here. So that everybody can see it, I'll go ahead and use my chalk to highlight that point. So now with my chalk, like I said, I'm going to go ahead and mark the center front, which is here. So I hope you can see it better now. So the length that you need is going to be the length of the zipper that you're working with. So you make sure that you have allowance on the teeth here, especially for this particular dress that I'm making. I'll still need to sew in a collar. I cannot sew on these teeth, so you need to put that allowance there. You can see there's allowance on your zipper as well, so you can also use that or reduce it if you don't want it that much. So here, this is where my zipper stops, and that is where my line stopped. So here on this point that the line stopped, I'm going to go ahead and draw a perpendicular line, just this straight line on that point too, as you can see. And then that same line, I'm going to draw it on my zipper as well. So you make sure that you just leave a little space from where this iron stops. So here I'm drawing the same line on my zipper, but I'm not going to sew from end to end on the zipper. I'm just going to sew from around here to here. Okay, it's not going to get all the way to the edge of the zipper. So now the next thing I'm going to do now is to place the zipper. You can see I made this mark on the wrong side of the zipper. You can see this is the right side of the zipper. So I'll place this line on this line that I made on the right side of my dress, right side of zipper facing right side of the dress. So I'm matching them together, and then you make sure that this center point matches this center point like this. So after doing this, I'll take it to my sewing machine and run a stitch from here to here. Make sure that it doesn't get to the end of the zipper. I'll just stitch it like this and bring it back to show us what we have. So I have gone ahead to sew it. I hope you can see it. Sorry, I used a black thread, so you can see the little stitch that I have there. You can see that I did not get to the end of both zipper. So after that, now the next thing is for us to slash this open, so that we can easily turn in our zipper. I'm going to mark a triangle on this line. You can see I just raised this allowance that I have up, and then from this center line here, I'm going to mark a triangle to this side where I sew, and then I'll do the same thing on the other side like that. What I'm doing is just I'm trying to show us what I'm doing with the paper so that we can understand it. Okay, so if this is our center line now, and then I've gone ahead to sew on this, so I just raised it up, and then from here I'm going to mark a triangle just like this. So when I'm slashing from the neckline here, I'm going to cut like this and then open it up just like this. So now I'm going to grab my scissors and then go ahead and cut out following this line that I have here. So when I get to the triangle area, I'm going to carefully cut it as well. You can use the tip of your scissors if your scissors is sharp enough. So I'm cutting towards this side carefully, and then I'm going to do the same thing to the other side as well. So you can see how it's going to open up. You can see that small triangle that we have there. So after doing this, what you just need to do now is to flip like this, and then you tuck in this allowance inwards. You can also iron stay on this side to strengthen it, but I don't intend to align this. That's why I just left it like this, and my fabric is strong enough to carry what I'm doing. But if your fabric is not so strong, and you can put facing on it to cover up whatever hairstay that you are putting, just iron hairstay on it before you do this. So now after doing this, I'm going to push this inwards. You can see now that it is neatly finished, and the next thing to do now is to sew this on the two sides. It is easy. Let me turn it to the wrong side so that we can see what I'm doing.
So once it's inwards like this, remember we have opened it out, so this allowance that we have used to open out is what you are going to sew on this side. You're going to sew it like this, and then on the other side you're going to do the same thing. You open this allowance and then use it to sew it. So if I pin it now and turn it to the right side, you will see what it looks like. Okay, so now I've pinned it down. You can see how neat it is looking. It's going to relax very well because of the opening that we did. So what you just need to do is to go ahead and sew on the two sides of the zipper. So I'm on the sewing machine now, and then I'm just going to sew as close as possible. You can also use an invisible zipper foot for this if you want. So now I'm going to sew on it. So you just continue sewing it as close as you want. Okay, basically depending on how close you want it to be. I'm trying to open up the zipper so that I can access this part. Then after that you continue sewing. Then after sewing this, now you do the same thing for the other side as well. So I have sewn it, you can see. I'm gonna need to sew it, so you can just weave this outer part, and you can also cut a facing and then use it to cover it up. That is what you want, and this is what it looks like on the right part. So you can see the zipper, you can see how neat it is, and then you can also top stitch on it round like this if you want. So now this is how you fix your outer zipper without a zipper allowance. You can see how simple and easy to make this.